and the eyes of the skies. When you try to hide, smiles worthwhile. I love your style, and all I know where to stand sorrow. You should have somebody to love. And your eyes and your skies, yeah. You try to hide, smiles worthwhile. Oh, I love your style. And nobody knows that you stand the same sorrow. You should have somebody to love.
Whenever you're ready, Trav.
Okay. If Jaylene's ready, I'm bringing her down.
You just muted yourself.
Am I unmuted now? Oh, you're going to take that in the other room. Take that in the other room. Please, just take it in the other room.
I really wanted in here.
Please. Thank you all for joining us this evening for Bloomfield Rotary's second virtual community get-together. I'm Jaylene Steele, this year's president of Bloomfield Rotary, and I'm excited to be presenting this evening's program. We have a lot of former and current students who want to share their overseas experience with you. So to help us get through this Zoom technology, Adam Rayburn, tonight's Zoom host and newest Rotary Club member, will give us some housekeeping rules to optimize this online experience.
Thanks, Jaylene, and again, thank you everyone for coming. So what we're going to do is have all the participants muted for the initial presentation so Bob Howard can share a little bit about the Rotary Exchange program, but we do absolutely want this to be an interactive experience for our Rotary members, community visitors, and our exchange students. So we have some questions that have already been sent to us from the community, which Don will be asking each of the students shortly. If anyone on tonight's Zoom has additional questions that come to mind, that is what this meeting is for. So please utilize the chat section and fire away. The chat can be found in the bottom of your computer screens by clicking chat, and if on a cell phone, by clicking the three dots, more, and then chat. Once we're finished with the initial questions, we'll open it up to the group. This is an amazing opportunity, and we're very fortunate to have all of our foreign exchange students with us tonight who have come from all over the globe. And now to introduce the evening's program, here is Bob Howard, who has been involved with the exchange student program for many years. Bob?
The exchange student program, the benefits, lifelong leadership skills, learning new language, build lasting friendship, and become a global citizen. And long-term exchanges are usually around 11 to 12 months, start in August. That's what all these students here have done. We also have a short-term exchange, which usually is between families, the direct exchange between one family and another during the summer, which could be around six weeks usually. You can apply by getting hold of the Rotary Club, me, or you can get hold of your guidance counselor. Right now, this current year's, it's not going to happen. The one flat fee was $5,500 for visas, airfare, insurance, all the basics. And then there would be a few more things like spending money for the student while they're here. So we've been involved with Rotary's Youth Exchange since 1976. Over the years, we've had well over 40 inbound students come to Bloomfield from countries all over the world. And we've also sent multiple Bloomfield students in many of these same countries. And this came to our club just this past December. Sarah, who was an outbound to Olivia. As you can see, it's been 9 years, and she's constantly thinking about Rotary and all the benefits she got from her youth exchange year here. I'm sorry. So we also have two of our past outbound students are here. They're going to be answering questions tonight. So inbound, we have Adam from the Czech Republic. He's not here yet. Camila from Brazil, Daniel from Hungary, Santi from Mexico, Melissa, who's still here, from Germany. Outbound from Bloomfield, we have Catherine and Drew, who went out in the same year. So tonight's participants, we have prepared some questions for the students to give them a chance to share the experience of the year abroad. And they're going to be showing up on the screen, and Don will be picking students to answer. So now I'm going to turn it over to Don to start the question session.
Thanks, Bob. Oops. Oh, okay, I'm unmuted. Thanks, Bob. On the screen are some questions that we've already received for our student exchange panel. If you think of other questions that you'd like answered, please, again, use the chat feature and we'll attempt to discuss them. So now we'll switch to face-to-face mode so we can all see each other as we go through the questions. Face-to-face mode. Face-to-face mode.
Travis has
Initiate face-to-face mode.
All right. I guess we'll pass on the face-to-face mode for the present. And I'll just toss out some of these questions. Travis, thank you. Slow down. Back one. Back one, Travis. Nope. There. Okay. Let's start out with the one who thus far is traveling the furthest, and we'll go with Daniel. Again, we try to keep these about a couple of minutes, so we don't take a ridiculous amount of time. But Daniel, did the exchange experience change your view of the world for positive or negative?
I think it made me a more open person. Like it was definitely a positive experience. I came from Hungary, which is Europe, so still a Western country, I guess. So there wasn't a big culture shock, but it was still really different to see people on the other side of the ocean, how they live, how they think. There's a totally different attitude there, a more open, more positive way of life, I think, compared to like the eastern parts of Europe. So it was definitely positive for me to see different ways of life still in the Western world, and I loved it.
Oh, I think I lost a little of that. I'm losing a little bit of it, Daniel, but I lost a little bit of it. But we got most of what you said.
Yep.
Thank you. Let's go with Camilla. Camilla, what are you doing now, and what did you do your year back, the year you came back from your exchange program? You're muted. She's muted. Hello?
Oh.
There you go.
Hi. So good evening, everybody. And I didn't understand what you asked. I'm sorry. It cut it a little bit.
All right. What are you doing now? And what did you do the year you went back after your exchange?
Okay. So I was an exchange student back in 2006, 2007. So when I came back home, I had to take a test for university. And I went to tourism college and I graduated. I worked a lot. And right now I have my own travel agency, which is not as great as I wish to because of all of the virus thing and nobody's traveling. But I hope that this will pass and get back in business.
Thank you. let's see, Santi. What was like? How was life different for you when you finished your year? What hit you?
I think it hit me more in the mindset.
Uh-huh.
It made me grow up as a person and make my mentality a little bit, let's say, like elderly kind of thing. So I grew up on my decisions and made me more of a, I don't know, of a person of the world, I think.
Okay. Let's go back to Daniel on this one. Says, is your advice for others who might want to participate in this program in the future?
Sorry, can you repeat the first part
Sure.
of the question again?
What is your advice for others who might want to participate in this in the future?
I would say they should try and get involved in their local Rotary or Rotaract clubs, because unlike other exchange programs, the Rotary exchange program is based on the clubs, which the clubs do charity. So if you know what to expect, if you're already involved with this way of lifestyle, you know what to expect, and you can just join your host club's events and meet new people there. It's a lot easier to make friends there.
Okay.
On these events. So I would tell them to get accompanied by or get to know better the Rotary as a charity, as a program, as a way of life.
Drew, what's your favorite memory of the exchange experience?
She's on mute.
There we go. I was muted. That's a really difficult question. I feel like there are so many experiences that were just completely life-changing. I would say that I think my favorite was one of my friends from school invited me to come back to her hometown, and I got to stay with her family, and I got to like see all the stuff that she grew up with, and so much of it was just so different than what I'm used to. And it was really cool to like see not just the high school level, but like how elementary schools and raising children was different.
Oh, very nice. Catherine, I got one for you. Where are you at?
Hello.
There you are. I have, what would your advice be for current Bloomfield students who might want to participate?
Just do it. It's going to change your life absolutely for the better. Even if you have like a bad host family or whatever, it's just going to change for the best. So, yeah.
Very good. Thank you.
Yeah.
How about my good friend, Melissa? Melissa, studying abroad is a big step. Being so far from your home, your family, your friends, your culture. How did you know you were ready for it?
Well, I wanted to do the exchange since 7th grade. So I kind of like got used to the thought of it. And I knew that in an emergency I could go home, but that never was actually an option. So I just know that it's only like 1 year only. So yeah, it's worth it.
Okay. Santi, what advice would you give to someone who wants to do this but is afraid?
I think being afraid is part of life, and being a 15, 16-year-old kid that is going by himself or by herself, It's kind of scary going at least, I don't know, like a state away from home, but now going to other country, travel maybe to other continent can be hard, but technology helps a lot now. You can still talk to your parents, to your friends, but I think the better advice is just to go for it because it's a great experience for you and it's something you keep for pretty much all your life.
Cool. Thank you. Is that Adam from the Czech Republic who just checked in? Adam, can we unmute Adam? It's HANA is what he's got.
Not letting me.
Oh, there it is.
Oh, you got it. You got it.
Hello, Adam. Are you there? Oh, you can't speak. I didn't know that was, I'm sorry. Welcome. All right, Camilla, how about you handle this one for me? Do you think this experience changed you? And if so, how and in what ways?
It's a hard one.
That's what I do. I'm not going to make it easy for you.
I changed a lot, like starting from my weight, but like for other things, it was a great experience. I learned a lot, especially like how to deal with people that are different from you. And I think that was like the thing from all my exchange year. Just like different culture, different way of life. I stayed at 2 houses and they were completely different from themselves. So Tom is here and the other family was from the Stanfords and they are very different. And I learned how, and different from me as well. So I learned to deal with it and it was really nice. And then when I came back, I went abroad again in Spain and then I worked at Disney World. So, and I had to deal with different people again and again. And I think that was the best part of it, like learning how to live with different people from me.
Nice. Next question is, has the experience changed your ideas or vision for your future career or for your life plan? Drew, could you handle that one?
Definitely. I feel like a lot of things have definitely changed for me. I mean, I was planning on going on the exchange and then going to college and sort of working here for a while. But after my exchange, I mean, I want to study abroad again in college, and I definitely want to do some sort of work that gets me out of the country because I met so many people like ridiculously far away, and I want to get to see more people, I guess. I love being around all of them. I have a lot of friends like in Europe that I know I'm never going to get to see unless I go back. So I guess it's sort of an incentive to spend more of my life outside of this little bubble that we get into.
Nice. Let's see, who do I got? Catherine. Tell us something that you experienced that was very surprising or different than what you expected.
Brazilians were very welcoming and very opening. I wasn't expecting that, which was really nice because it was easier to make friends and stuff. So that was a good surprise.
Did you run across Camilla when you were in Brazil?
I didn't know Camilla when I was in Brazil. But hi, Camilla. What have you been?
Your mom was my teacher in
Really?
Bloomfield.
Oh, that's so
Inspiring.
cool. Oh my God.
Yeah. I took Spanish class with her. Yeah.
Nice.
Again, I want to go back to Drew because I think I know the answer to this question. Drew, did you find it easy to adapt to their culture?
Absolutely not. It was a struggle.
Where did you go again?
I was in Taiwan for the year.
Okay.
And, a lot of the culture is very, listening to your parents and listening to authority and doing whatever they say a lot of times without question. And I'm a very curious person. So a lot of the times, somebody would say to do something and I'd be like, so why are we doing it? And I'd get like all of these looks and they'd be like, just do it. And I would have like such a problem adapting to that because I would want to know like what's happening. And a lot of things were just like, I had to get used to just doing it and just assuming that, that whatever was happening was for the best.
Mm-hmm.
So it was really different, but I had a really good time and I ended up making a lot of friends and a lot of connections with a lot of people there.
Very good.
So, even if you don't adapt perfectly to the culture, like if you show up and it's not like it immediately clicks, that doesn't mean that you're not going to make a lot of friends and learn a lot of new stuff. It just means that you're going to have to work to adapt.
Nice. This one I'm going to toss to Melissa. My friend, why did you choose the Rotary Exchange program as opposed to another kind of program?
So first of all, there are a lot of organizations in Germany, so I didn't even know about Rotary for the longest time. But when my teacher told me about it, I loved it because she told me that they're very safe and they really care about every exchange student. And you have more families than only one, which I think is pretty perfect. Like, I don't know who it was. I think Camila said that her host families were very different. So I think it's very good, like, to make your own picture of the country, not only the picture of that one host family. And the Rotary Exchange program is like for everyone because it's not that much money as like other organizations. So everyone gets the chance, and I think it's perfect. Yeah.
Good, thank you. Santi. No, I know the answer to this question. I'm not going to use you. Let's see. We'll go with. I know the answer there too. Gosh, I know all the answers. All right, I'll make it. I'll make it Camilla. You traveled in 2006, 2007. Have you been back to Bloomfield since then?
Yes. I went back twice, I think. Was it, Tom? Yeah, I think that, yeah. Yes, I went back twice. When I worked at Rotary, I'm sorry. When I worked at Disney, I went back to Bloomfield. And then my brother worked at Disney, and I went back with him, so twice.
Oh, okay. Let's see. How about let's do Santi. And I'm going to switch a little question. Did you find it easy to adapt to this country's cultures?
I think it was different from Mexican country, but I don't think it was as hard as going, I don't know, to China or something totally
or Taiwan
difficult or different, because I think a lot of countries grew up in American culture, watching TVs and movies.
Mm-hmm.
So you kind of have something like in your mind when you go to America.
Right. Daniel, tag on to that question just a little bit for you. When you were first told that you were going to Bloomfield, New York, what was the first thing you thought?
Where is that? And then I found a Bloomfield I think there's one in New Jersey, and that's like the first hit on most searches. I think I even mixed up the school districts. I couldn't find the page for the school, so well, I didn't know where it was. It's an issue probably everybody faces when they get assigned to a New York place. That, oh, you went on an exchange to New York City. How was it? And then you tell them, no, I was in New York State, like kind of upstate New York, beautiful landscapes, lakes, hills, but not much of a city. So I was happy. I was really happy. And I was really happy because I thought that I would make to Niagara Falls and to Canada, which didn't happen until the very end of my exchange when Travis, the Pipers, took me to Niagara Falls. It was like I had two or 3 weeks left. So it was a surprise. First, I didn't know where it would be, but it turned out great and I loved it.
Good. Let's see. Melissa. Oh, no, I'm sorry. Catherine, I meant. Catherine, where are you? You moved on me. There you are. Catherine, did you miss your family when you were away?
I've had parts, yeah. But, like, you're just so busy doing so much. Not all the time, but sometimes, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
No.
Yeah. I think that's pretty common. Good for you. Let's see. And who do I still want to get a question from? I guess Melissa, because this is the third one for you. Melissa, what's your favorite food in America?
I thought about it because I didn't know the answer, but probably Rice Krispie treats.
Rice Krispie treats, very good.
Yep.
All right.
You should have gone with the garbage plate.
You opened a franchise in Hungary, didn't you? Nick Tahoe's.
Not quite there yet, no.
All right. We wanted to do questions that may be on the chat. Am I going to handle that, or is someone else going to handle that?
Adam and I are watching, but first we have Celia Ketchmark is on here, and she was from Mrs. Ashton's 5th grade class. Celia, if you want to ask your question, if we didn't answer it already. Oh, Sarah's got to go get In the meantime, we also have Brennan on here. Brennan was supposed to be being outbound this year. So Brennan, you want to show your face? I see his mom's answering on there. So we're hoping that since COVID has changed the program for us this year, that he will still be excited to go the following year, as long as everything goes well with that. Sarah, is Celia ready? She doesn't want to answer? No, she doesn't want to ask it. Okay. I can look back at it. Here,
Oh, there we go. Sorry. She had stepped away. She wasn't aware that she would be asked to ask the question live.
Oh, that's okay. That's fine. We had some different questions already kind of prepared, so I can look back. Does Brendan want to say anything? Renee? Is there any other questions? Anybody have any questions? You can type in the Oh. Not yet. No problem. Brendan doesn't want to show his face quite yet. So does anybody have any questions? You can type in the chat, or if you can be careful, if you unmute yourself, just let us know, do a little wave of your hand and we can call on you. We can get you unmuted to ask your question. Go ahead, Bob.
Is Adam Tomek able to speak?
He's able to speak now.
Oh,
I unmuted. Oh, so there we go. Go ahead, Adam.
yeah. Ciao, everyone.
There you go.
Took me long to connect, but I'm here.
What are you doing?
Good to see you, Bob.
Good to see you. What are you doing now?
Well, not sleeping.
Oh. What kind of
I hear that.
what kind of job do you have?
Oh, that. I'm a dentist.
Thank you.
Stop drilling him, Bob.
Oh,
You didn't get any questions yet.
oh, Ralph's got a question.
Yeah, this is for Adam.
Oh, Ralph.
Hi, Adam. Adam had such a unique experience when he first arrived here. We picked him up at the airport at midnight because this plane had gotten delayed with a connection in New York. And we brought him home and then got him up at 5 o'clock in the morning because we had a 6 o'clock a.m. flight out to Duluth, Minnesota for a family reunion on my wife's side the next morning. He was so confused of where he was and what he was doing. We finally got to Duluth, and I said, Adam, would you like to go to your room and I'll order you a pizza? And he said, yes. So he was sitting in his room with a pizza on his stomach. He had a remote control, and the next day he said, Adam is king. Adam is king.
I didn't even believe that Princess Diana died the next day.
Yeah, that's true.
Oh, wow.
Right in the morning.
Yep.
I was so confused about the time change and everything. That's true. Funny that you remember that. Huh? It's so long.
Mag has a
Was
question.
Adam here?
I'm going to unmute Mag here. Go ahead, Mag.
Well, mine is not a question, but what I thought was so very amusing was when I was the youth exchange officer and I would read the monthly reports that the outbound students had to send in. And when I would read the ones from Drew Akoff, it made me laugh out loud because she always wrote how she did not like the Taiwanese food at all. And she had made a good friend over in Taiwan, and it was a girl from Mexico. And they found a Mexican restaurant in Taiwan, and so they would go there to eat. And the Mexican girl was complaining that this isn't real Mexican food. And Drew said, oh, shut up, this is delicious. That was what made me laugh out loud. Do you remember that, Drew?
Yeah, a lot of Taiwanese home cooking was just not exactly my cup of tea. You know, I mean, a lot of it was meat, so the vegetarian meals would generally be vegetables and rice, which wasn't my thing. So when we found that restaurant, I was so excited, and the whole time Anna was like, this food isn't real Mexican food. And I'm like, we're not eating rice and boiled vegetables right now, so I just want you to be happy right now.
Right.
I ended up finding out that I love Taiwanese street food. I'm not a fan of home food as much. It's much healthier. I don't do healthy food.
Right.
We have the questions on the Lydia. You need to unmute yourself, Lydia.
Okay.
There.
What time is it in Europe right now?
1:30 a.m.
Yeah, 1:37.
Oh boy.
The kids are waking up at 6. That's okay.
What kids?
Well, thank you for staying up late or getting up early or whatever so you could talk with us.
My pleasure.
Yeah, you're welcome.
That's pretty cool. Go ahead, Bob.
A few introductions are in order since we have time. We have Julie Carney, our District 7120 Youth Exchange Chairman. Nancy Laughlin, who's going to be the incoming one for the coming year. We have Tom Stevens, one of Camila's host family. I think that's everybody that people might not know. Julie has a comment.
So I would just like to say, I knew Santiago, Daniel, of course I know Melissa, Drew, and Catherine as long as I've been in the program. And I would just like to say that your Rotary Club by far is exceptional in embracing these students and welcoming them into your Rotary Club. So many times Rotary Clubs, they say they'll host a student, but that's all they do is host a student. Like, you actually love a student. So I would just like to say from the district, thank you for doing that. And again, like you have Adam on here from when we were here in 1972. I'm joking. But you have people reaching back to your community like years later, and that's just huge, and it's just a good representation of your club. So thank you for all you're doing. I know it's going to stink next year not having a year, but I thank you for holding out through the coronavirus. Tough year for the exchange students, and again, thank you for loving her and getting her through the end of her year, and we'll come back strong the following year. So thank you.
Awesome.
Also, it's just so nice to see all you guys again after a few years. And we have to adjust our minds that a lot of you are over 21, you're legal now, you can drink beer and everything, because we knew you when you were 15, 16 years old, and now you're all grown up and working and owning your own business. And it's wonderful. So it's so good that we did this. It's wonderful to see you all.
Santi, what are you up to now?
Now, well, I'm working. I just graduate. I told the guys earlier, I'm working in a pasta company, and I've been there like year and a half now. Probably move to other city soon.
What kind of company? A pasta company?
Yeah, like spaghetti and.
You make spaghetti?
Yep, macaroni, all kind of.
What brand?
It's called La Moderna.
You should consult Don with the secret sauce that we made a batch and then froze it and we ate it like, I don't know, weeks and weeks on, probably.
Santi, isn't your degree in engineering?
Yeah, I'm a mechatronical engineer. It's like mechanical, electronical, and computer programming kind of mix.
Yes.
So I know of everything.
I know. I've seen your stuff on Facebook.
Joel says you're a macaroni engineer.
I'm gonna put it on my desk.
So do you make garbage plates down there for your friends?
No, I tried to introduce that to my brother and my mom, and they were like, "You're not gonna put that in your body, right?" I'm like, "Maybe you are not, but I will." And I made like 4 or 5 garbage plates, and I just had it myself because nobody wanted in my house.
Wait, you eat crickets but not garbage plate? Oh, wait.
Yeah, well,
do we have any more chat questions?
I do have a couple that I don't think we got to on the thing from Celia that I was talking about earlier, who's watching. She had asked if it was hard to learn the English language or learn the language for the girls that want over. How long maybe had you been learning English or learning the other language prior to going over? And were you fluent in it prior to getting to your host country? Anybody can answer that. Anyone? Go ahead, Drew. You're muted though, honey.
Okay. So I went to Taiwan, so I had to learn Chinese, and I had never learned it in any official setting. I tried to learn it online for 5 months before I went, but when I got there, I'm gonna be honest, I was nowhere near fluent. I could ask you your name and ask you for food, and that was about it.
Nothing else matters.
I had this. It was definitely a big learning curve, but by the time I got back, I could speak in full sentences. I could start up a conversation with a stranger on a bus. So even if you have trouble learning the language, but once you're living there, you'll pick it up so much faster. So don't stress about it.
Anybody else?
I took English classes since I was little, and when I got to Bloomfield and I got to my host family, I couldn't remember how to say spoon, and I got nuts. I was just I can't speak, and I couldn't communicate. I think I was anxious and everything, but 3 months later, I think I was getting there. You get it.
Mm-hmm.
It's just.
Yeah.
For us in Hungary, we start learning a second language, I think, from third year in elementary school, and it was English for me. I thought that I was fairly decent in English when I got to Bloomfield. The only thing Don could nitpick about was that they never told us about how to differentiate the
Pancake.
W. What, sorry? Oh, come on, that's enough. No. Don't bring that one up. So they never told us how to differentiate when you say the V and the W. And Don kept picking on me for, I think, I spent there with you 4 months or 3.
3 or 4,
He
yeah.
made fun of me, yeah. But yeah, English was, I think I spoke quite good English when I got there, except that.
Ralph, you got something?
Yeah, I'm going to pick on Adam again. Adam came off, and Adam really started. He had very, very good English. He could speak it very well. Unfortunately, his comprehension of it wasn't as well as he spoke. And we realized that one night when we kept telling him, Adam, turn off the light upstairs. And finally he goes, what is light? So Adam could, Travis is laughing because he knows. he knows. But Adam, really, his English was so good, we thought he understood as much. So we're just talking regularly. We're not doing anything. And poor Adam, it was just going right over the top of his head. But we learned. Adam trained us.
One of the things my youngest daughter was asking is, what was it like to live in somebody else's house?
It is weird. The first night you wake up is just
different.
It's different.
Very different.
Yeah. You look around and see nothing familiar. Different wall paints. I stayed with Ron Parrish the first months. And yeah, it was different. He had a beehive inside his heater system. So I had bees inside my room. I think it was his daughter's room. So it was covered with just posters with, I think it was Jonas Brothers or something. So it is different waking up and living in somebody else's house.
I think it is weird, but I also think you get used to it very fast.
Yeah.
I feel like the biggest problem is different families have different rules, and a lot of times you don't know the rules, and it's something so ingrained in the family that they just expect you to know it. Like on the night that I got there, they bought some bread, and so I was eating it, and then like a few days later, I was looking for it for breakfast, and I couldn't find it, and it was like up in this cabinet. So I was like, why did they put it over here? But I got it out and I started eating it. And my host mom came over and she was like horrified. And she's like, that's where we put the bread that we're getting ready to throw out because we've had it 3 days and now it's bad. And I was like it was just like the wildest rule. Like, why was the bread bad after 3 days? But they were just so shocked that I would like eat it because like it was just a thing in their family. And I'd never had it before. And I'll never forget the look on her face. She was like,
the year that Adam was here, first he stayed with Ralph, and then we had volunteered for the program to be hosts, and then we put our house up for sale, knowing it was going to take a year to sell our house in Bristol. And wouldn't you know, it sold right away. By the time Adam arrived, we were all packed into an apartment. During that year, we had my son Brian came home to live with us. Adam was with us, so we were all waking up in strange bedrooms for the whole time, right, Adam?
Well, we had a good time.
We did have a good time. The little Christmas tree that we had in the apartment that year was a live tree. It's now out in the yard here. It's about 40 feet tall.
Really?
Yeah, I'll send you another picture.
Now, one of the things I was curious about, because I talked to Susanna last year. I've only been in Rotary for a year. So Susanna was here last year and she did a lot of dance when she was at home. And when she came here, she decided to do something totally different and she went out for sports. And so she did soccer and she did softball. Did you guys do anything different at your host country than you did at home?
Snowboarding.
Oh yeah, you are lucky because I've been skiing my whole life, and the year I spent in Bloomfield, the winter was terrible. I barely got to ski like 2 or 3 times. I was doing sports.
That was like the different thing that I did. That's
I was doing sports like one each season because in Hungary we don't really have organized sports in high school, and I was just telling about this to my girlfriend a week ago. I think that I really miss that there's leagues organized for high school kids and they can participate in all kinds of sports each season. So that was refreshing for me.
Adam got to be in a play.
Well, I was just
me too. Daniel. So did Daniel.
That's right. That's right. And Camilla, right?
No.
No? Okay. Can't keep them all straight.
was in both of them this year.
Daniel.
Yeah, is it still happening? Sorry?
Oh, yes. Oh, yeah. Just next year's our 40th year.
Wow.
Yeah. Still have pictures of you controlling those balloons in the ceiling of the church. Remember they had the motors on them? And...
Wait, is it me or?
I was yeah. When the show you were in, we had those balloons. They were fish. They were filled with helium, and they had a little motor in them, and with a joystick, you could fly them around the.
That had to be Adam. That had to be Adam.
No,
that wasn't
Daniel.
me.
I remember the pictures.
We did.
They hadn't invented them yet when Adam was here.
I still have the DVD, so I'll check it out.
Travis, we'll talk later, but it wasn't him.
Who's on first?
Oh, I'll send you the picture.
I was wondering, Daniel, what are you doing now? You finished your education? Are you in
Oh no,
or what?
it's, it really is a bad feeling to hear all the other exchange students telling about their their jobs and their companies. I'm still trying to finish my med school. After I came back home, I had to finish 2 more years of high school and then 6 years of university. I'm months away from getting my degree
Well,
as a general.
congratulations.
Yeah, thanks. But well, the virus is mixing things a bit up in medicine, so our practicals go a bit different than before. So it's not that easy to progress now with studies. But yeah, hopefully from September, I'm going to work as an anesthesiologist.
Oh wow!
Well, that's
Congrats.
wonderful. Yeah.
Thanks, thank you.
Yes.
Yeah, you'll be real rich. That's cool.
Oh, maybe in America, but not here in Hungary.
Oh, that's right.
You should read up the news about our healthcare.
Well, you'll have to change it.
Do you have any more questions that were chatted in, Marcy? Or we covered everything?
Just if there's anything from any of the host families. Any of the host families have anything they want to share?
Ralph and I could go on for hours.
Yeah, we'd have lots of Adam stories, but we've shared enough of Adam so far. So.
You did leave fond memories, Adam.
Oh yeah.
For those of the comment was made earlier about how connected we get with exchange students. My wife and I went over for Adam's graduation from college. We went over to the Czech Republic. We went over again for his wedding. And never in a million years would I've ever even thought about going to the Czech Republic, but we had a ball. Wonderful.
Hey, and you made it to Hungary as well.
And we did. We met Daniel in Budapest.
Oh
Yes.
yeah.
Budapest.
Oh, yeah. And your
Budapest.
Pest. I'm sorry. Yes. Yeah, your English is a lot better than my Hungarian.
One of the stories that Travis tells is that Adam's brother is a Scotch aficionado, and so they shared a few drinks.
We did. Yeah. Say hello to Hanus, Adam.
Yeah.
Come over again. He's got a big cabinet.
Can I share one thing?
You bet.
Thomas came to Brazil, and he came for the World Cup, and he got me to the 2 games. It was really nice. We watched United States versus Portugal, and you lost, but it was a cool game. And he also participated of my 25th birthday, which was really nice. And I went to Dubai, and I met his daughter there, Audrey.
Wow.
She's living there, and I stayed at her house. It was really cool, really nice. So we are like keep in touch.
Mm-hmm. I have a general question for each of you. Inbounds, outbounds, old, new, whatever. Do you keep in touch with other people from pretty regularly? Like kids you went to high school with, or?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Not as much as I'd like.
Yeah, not as much as I like to.
Yeah.
10 years ago, I think it was like more regular. And right now we just like see pictures on Instagram and Facebook. But I try to contact like in Christmas time and birthdays and things. I try to keep contact, but Sometimes it's hard, but internet makes everything easier.
Yeah.
Santi, Hunter says you guys talk about every week. Do you?
Yeah, we talk a lot. He went to come back to Mexico, and I just can't wait to go back to Bloomfield. So we talk about a lot of things. He wanted to try a lot of food, like cook himself at home, but I think there are a lot of ingredients you can get in Bloomfield. But yeah, same as Camila. I just try to keep in touch with everybody in birthdays and holidays.
All right. Don, we're going to move on.
I think if I don't hear any more questions, I guess we can. I think really not much else. Oh.
All right, you ready?
Yeah. Where are we at?
All right, we're at me.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm trying to get to the next slide. Oh, come on.
That's paint.
This
is a screenshot. Yeah.
Yeah, it is. Never mind. There we go. That's the slide. Whoops. Now you see it. Now you don't.
Nope.
Screen sharing has stopped as the window is closed. There we go. Can people see that?
Not yet.
No.
We're all seeing each other.
I got to make that go away while I start creating. Here we go. Ain't technology grand? There we go. Hopefully you can see that.
Yes.
Oh, good. Once it goes full screen. Come on. There we are.
I would just like to thank everybody for coming tonight. This was such an amazing experience. It was so good to see all the exchange students. It was so good to see so many community people here. I hope you have a better understanding of what the Rotary Student Exchange Program is. By way of follow-up, our last community Zoom meeting, which was 2 weeks ago, we talked about the backpack program and Family Promise. And we had such great success. We decided to do a chicken barbecue last weekend, which we sold out in about an hour, 300 chicken dinners, and we made over $4,000 in a single day for the Bloomfield Backpack Program. We'd like to thank everybody for our support. Our next community forum will be in June, and the subject will be determined by you. We are looking for, and we're open to new ideas. We've created an online poll asking for future topics that we could present. If you're interested in taking it, please send an email to the address shown here. You can also type your ideas into the chat function. Thanks for letting us share what Rotary is about. We hope you will give the student exchange program some serious thought and reach out to us or to the school guidance counselor. We continue to look for community people that we can partner with to make our town better. That's what Rotary is all about. And of course, donations are always welcome as they go to support all the programs that Bloomfield Rotary is involved in for the good of our community. Thanks for coming tonight, and a special thank you to all of our exchange students. We look forward to seeing you next time.